Today's the day, are you coming, are you I'm sick of being normal, I'm sick of being average, I'm sick of being mortal, I'm about to be a savage. I see a lot of things that I want, I will have them. I got a new mindset that I just established on my...
Okay, you beautiful passengers, welcome back to the Bag of the Semi Truck, and it's that time once again. We are about to sit back and watch The Ghost and Molly McGee Season 2, Episode 10, and hopefully I am speaking loud enough for the microphone to catch what I'm saying, because as of recording this, we have got the remnants of Hurricane Idalia, or however the flip you pronounce that name, whatever hurricane is coming through Florida / Georgia / South Carolina in, what is it, August 30th, 2023. So as of recording it, it is August 30th, 2023. So yeah, whatever hurricane this is, / tropical storm now, feels like a thunderstorm to me. I don't, it ain't that bad out there to me. So yeah, after that weather report, The Ghost and Molly McGee, we last left off with Scratch figuring out he has the new ability of summoning and making ghost sharks. We had a ghost shark. I wonder if he can make any other type of ghost. I mean, they didn't, Scratch didn't think it existed before. He just kind of summoned it out of thin air. So, and then of course Grandma Nin is living in town now as opposed to out of town. So there's a good aspect as well. She pretty much, goes to the senior center and stuff like that and hangs out with the other, elderly people. I was going to say older people, but I kind of felt weird just saying hanging out with the other old people. Because, I felt rude calling them old. Either way though, I'm going to put these earbuds in and I'm going to push this play button in 3, 2, 1, and play. Huh. I wonder what feels different about that intro. Like Father, like Libby. Interesting. Turtle Riders of Neil.
Oh no, don't tell me you were indifferent. A bunch of bills and a package.
Don't just throw their mail on the ground. Okay, maybe I'm just that old.
Your bat mitzvah was months
Whatever.
ago, and everyone knows your signature animal is the turtle. Whoever sent this doesn't know you. It's from my dad.
Dad.
Right. That is such a nice. But he's busy traveling the world so he can write the next great American novel. Oh, he's a
really? Is that why y'all have a
He's been working on
bookstore?
his book for years, and it's away, and I haven't seen him in 6 years.
6 years? I'm sorry, but that is a horrible father. I mean, goodness gracious, I get he has to be out of town. I'm gone Monday through Friday, but my God, 6 years? Okay, so I'm going to presume that Libby's mom is not liking the idea of going to see dear old daddy.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
How many turtles we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we got 4 turtles. All we need now is some ooze. Oh my gosh, Molly. No, we don't need crazy Molly. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're getting crazy Molly.
Looks great, Mom.
Libby's number 2 through 5 best friends.
Really?
Okay, and us is
2 through 5? What about Andrea?
Surface, Mom. Give me the
You know, I like the attention to detail on those scenes where they're in the car, because the rear view mirror is taped to the windshield.
Changed. Let's go.
Mom, you're being weird. Let me talk to Simon.
Talk to Simon?
I don't know what a turtle sounds like. You do.
Simon? Are you okay? He's probably just tired from all the fun we're having. Okay, bye!
No, I'm so good at turtle noises.
That shouldn't be as funny as it was. My gosh, that was weird. I liked it.
Almost there?
I got a feeling her dad doesn't look like that. It's how she sees him. She's got a lot of hope within seeing her dad.
Scared he was gone. Oh,
I've got
what
a
were you gonna
feeling
I didn't
it's not
realize
gonna
how much
go
this meant to you.
as she was planning.
say? I didn't either.
I love seeing you so excited, but
Wow, I just
When
felt
he's
that wind.
expected.
Maybe I am getting that hurricane winds.
I don't see him.
Oh,
Are
well.
we late? Oh, I knew we shouldn't have stopped. There he is! That's him!
Okay.
Oh wow, he actually looks like
Dad!
how Libby envisioned him in her little
Can't be Libby.
daydreaming.
It's only about yay high. You're election for the series, and then I have to.
And one by one,
Maybe some.
those dreams of her are shattered.
you okay, Turtle Dove? Chasing miracles in front of him. You.
Mom, thanks for always being here.
Dang.
And now, I... Come on, come on!
Dang.
Where are you, Simon? Libby's back.
It's the kids that suffer
Hey,
in
Libby,
situations like that.
I have to tell you something. I don't know. Molly totally lost them and found them at the very last minute.
Oh gosh. You know, that's a very satisfying ending to what is kind of a bit of a roller coaster of emotions when you let's see, the best way I can say it. Libby had the realization that her dad sucks. So yeah, it's a roller coaster once you see the tears in her eyes, and this show, I like the show. I'm trying to find the right words because I like the show, but at the same time, there are some episodes, like a previous episode, where the first half, you know, like in episode 9 of season 2 here, the last episode we just watched together, the shark bait fin whatever episode, I didn't like it. Wasn't great, wasn't enjoyable. I didn't really see anything in there that was that great. But this episode, on the other hand, and the Grandma Nin episode that was, that we just finished watching, that's a good episode too. That tackles an issue that isn't really talked about in these shows, targeted to the age group that it's targeted to. And then we get this issue here of Libby and her dad. We don't know anything about Libby's dad. Now we know a lot. First off, he's a deadbeat who obviously is self-absorbed, because I saw that selfie he took with Libby's book. And I have a feeling that this isn't going to be the last of Libby's dad that we see. He might end up pitching Libby's book to his publishers and then end up getting it published, and then he has to come back into Libby's life. Or at least that would make a good plot for later on. But we find out Libby's dad is just awful and sucks and hasn't been there for the last 6 years of Libby's life. So it's just... Then we also see the emotional roller coaster where Libby's mom has to hide everything within herself as well and not actually speak out loud and tell Libby, look, your dad sucks. Let's just move on with our lives. She wants to say this kind of stuff, but she can't. So hopefully I'll have more thoughts after the second half of the episode, because of course I don't want to spend too long in between the episodes. I want to be able to get finished with both episodes, well, both halves of the episode, and then talk about it afterwards. So put these earbuds in if I can get my hair out the way. I desperately need a haircut, especially get rid of all this whatever that is back there. I like the front. I love my bangs. My bangs are coming in pretty well, but this back here is just a mess. Either way, 3, 2, 1, and play. Dance Dad Revolution.
It's like a full-time job.
Yes, that is precisely what it is.
Now, the next item on our list is a biggie.
But you're the one who released
Release the frightmares from the flow of failed phantoms.
Yeah,
I
but
know.
he's kind of the chairman and should be allowed to kind of outsource that to somebody else.
Dad, what's wrong?
Use about 1 million plastic bags a year.
Click
Plastic
clock, huh?
bags can take 1,000
By the way,
years to
I do
decompose.
post on TikTok.
Meanwhile, they fill our landfills and balloon arm. I'm getting hearts. I've never gotten those before. It feels good. It feels... To the plastic bag.
Oh, that's an interesting thing that I'm seeing from him. He feels like he's getting validation.
Sorry, kids, I found a real dancer.
Oh, goodness gracious. You're creating a monster, Molly. Kind of like what I did with showing my wife
Don't mind me, I just
TikTok
popped in
exists.
for a light snack before I get back to work. Bet your buttocks you can, because it is
Really?
so much
Are we
fun.
doing the old Tom Sawyer trick on Jeff there? And it's going to end up working on everybody else as
Go
well.
have some fun. I can't even...
Get low. Pick up any trash on the floor.
Okay.
Get into the bin where
I
the
feel
girls
like
are.
I've heard this song somewhere before, but yeah. I can kind of feel this. You got the right idea, Scratch.
Can you make that text smaller? It's blocking my high kick.
I see where we're going with this already.
Little smaller, little smaller, smaller.
And now the message is gone.
There we go. A little smaller. Perfect.
You can't even read it.
And a noodle arms. Pete, that's stiff.
Hey, yeah, that is some noodle arms there, dude.
It's for the fans, Molly.
This definitely makes me miss the people-pleasing version of Pete. Two influencers, yeah.
Hashtag trending.
Fair warning though, Pete.
Really?
You might be trending now, but that trending
Pete McGee.
definitely goes away quickly.
Patty, you know.
You're right. Somebody's got to do something. And I
The
know
mayor?
just the somebody.
You? Yeah, okay, it's just you.
It's me. Just to be clear.
I got that. What gives? Where are you working?
Flashdance reference right there for all the old timers.
Down.
Gosh, I'm not that old,
You
am
got
I?
on Click Clock to Unhappify right. Hey!
Yeah! Do your thing, girl.
Wow, this is a great medium for reaching people.
There you go, Pete. Back to your old self, dude.
Molly?
Okay, so there we are. And if you heard a little humming in the background, that's because I got the old little fan going. Yeah, I stopped and it was feeling pretty good in here after I got it nice and chilly, and it's nice and 70-something degrees outside, but this is my second reaction tonight, so I kind of had to start the fan up because it's getting a little warm, and yeah, I ain't sweating on camera. But the fan does come in handy, that is for darn sure. But nonetheless though, second half episode, I guess this goes to show us that the first thing that popped into my head when I was watching this second half was the previous episode where I was calling Pete a people pleaser and someone who we kind of got to watch a little because he's a people pleaser. He goes overboard on pleasing people, and he kind of has some self-doubt issues or something. And then we get this episode where he's literally got the slightest little bit of validation, and it just went straight to his head, and he got conceited and pretty much geez, I know what I'm saying here. I just can't formulate the words like that in my head. He got such a slim little validation because he sat there and said, "Ooh, a heart. I don't get those." And then it just went all, pretty much, I'll just be blunt, it went to hell from there. I mean, goodness gracious. He went from being such a lovable goof of a people pleaser to, oh, look at me. I am a star. I am this. I am that. I am the best there ever is. I'm just going to ignore everything else and just dance. And obviously that didn't pan out very well for him because everybody had to then get on Click Clock or whatever the flip I don't know why they can't just say TikTok. I understand, you know, copyright, all that stuff, but at a certain point, yeah, whatever. Who cares? But yeah, he got his validation. Everyone finally got his attention, though, and he went back to his normal self. And on top of that, he told Molly, I need to give you my username and password, because he knew himself. He knew that if he got back on there, he would seek that validation again. You know, this is kind of a multi-layered episode when you stop and think about it for Pete. I mean, it shows a little bit of growth for him and shows us a little bit more about his character, to where we're kind of like, okay, this is not the Pete I know. What's going on, dude? So, you know, hopefully what I said, I actually got into some decent words there and formulated something, because I know by the end of the day, especially after today, holy crap, the wind and the rain and all that stuff, my mind is nothing but mush, and I don't even know if I'm formulating sentences correctly right now. So, yeah, second half was better. When I slowed down enough to think about it, the second half was better than I gave it, you know, than I thought it would be in my head. The first half is more of, it's an emotional thing more than anything. I don't know how to really put into words. I mean, they put a lot of emotion within 11 minutes, and that's hard to take in just one episode. I feel personally that the first half deserved a full episode of 22 minutes to it, because then we could have really delved in deep into Libby and her dad, and maybe we could have had a little bit more time with him to see if maybe he's misunderstood a little bit. Maybe. You never know. Maybe there's some sort of real story behind him being gone for 6 freaking years. That blows my freaking mind. Is a kid doesn't see their dad for 6 years, and they're still excited to see them. And, you know, it blows my mind, but the weird thing, I understand. I thoroughly understand. Without getting too personal with everybody, let's be real. I've gotten personal with y'all before. So, I understand Libby. She wants to see her dad. Even though it's been 6 freaking years, she still wants to see her dad. I understand her, though. Because during my 4th grade year, from the age of 10 to almost 12, I lived with my aunt. And I lived with my aunt because I visited her one summer, and I wasn't home. One of my sisters were home. Me and my other sister went up to my aunt's house. My other sister stayed down at the house. Some stuff happened. I don't fully know. Even still to this day, being the age that I am, I still haven't asked that sister exactly what happened that night. But it had something to do with abuse. I don't fully know what it was. I honestly, I don't think I want to know what it was. But she came up there from Ellabelle. Hopefully I didn't, you know, that ain't too much information. If you type in the name Ellabelle, nobody's going to know where that is. So, you know what? From my little tiny hometown of Ellabelle, my sister came up, and we lived about a year and a half up there with my aunt. I'm trying not to say cities too much, because you never know, one person might just kind of search everything out and stuff like that and figure out tons of information about me. Y'all know how it goes. But even after all that, I didn't know nothing about it, even though I've grown up with a household full of abuse from my dad to my mom and stuff like that, and all that stuff. Even though I seen the abuse happening, I was gone from my parents for a year and a half, almost 2 years, and being a kid like Libby, I didn't understand. I just wanted to get back home to my parents. So I found a way. Well, everybody found a way. So I got moved back in. Eventually, somehow, I moved back in with my parents. And if I could change the past, I would have never went back home with my parents. Because now, as an adult, I understand. Just like Libby's mom understands who Libby's dad is and how he's just a jerk. And if, like I said, I understand why Libby thinks that way, because as a kid, I thought the same way. I'm like, yo, they're great. I love my parents. My parents sucked, and Libby's dad sucks. So, on a positive note, though, good episode overall. First half, emotional roller coaster, especially when I slow down long enough to think about it and how a child's mind works and how they don't see their parents as anything other than their parents and they love them. And then the second half, it was a goofy thing, but it still added character to Pete. I had a brain fart there because I didn't remember Pete's name at first. Y'all know how I am with names by now. So, on a good note, though, I am gonna get off of here, go to sleep. First, I'm gonna crank this truck up and then turn this little fan off, because then I'll have that AC blaring. Nonetheless, though, I will start rambling on about something else random if I don't shut up. So, it is official. I'm shutting up, passing it off to y'all. Hit the like, tickle to subscribe. Don't be texting and driving. And as Mr. Rogers always says,
and I like you as you are, I do.